Okay, good morning, everybody. It's great to see so many of you here joining the webinar today with MGISS. Very pleased that you were able to make time. Just as quick introductions, my name is Eamonn Prowse. I'm the commercial lead here at MGISS, and I'm joined today by my colleague, Darius Mirdamadi. Say hello, Darius.
Good morning, all. Yeah, it's great to see so many on today, and really excited to introduce a couple of our products and a new one as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, so as with any meeting, the fire alarms in the toilets, we're not expecting a fire alarm in here today. I don't know if you are, but and I'm sure you know where your toilet is. So let's move on through. The snappy subject matter for our webinar today is high accuracy 3D data capture and reporting for sewage and wastewater with ArcGIS field apps. So during the next 45 minutes, we will share the MGISS view of how companies may achieve success in efficiency and effectiveness, collecting and maintaining good quality data in sewage and wastewater projects. But firstly, I'd just like to break down the that title a little bit and just see what that means to us. It's a long title, so it deserves breaking down. The MGISS proposition here is that by adopting simple, cost-effective, plug-and-play GNSS hardware, interfaced with smartphones and tablets, kind of kit which is commonly used on site already in sewage and wastewater projects, installation and inspection teams are able to survey assets with high levels of positional accuracy. And by that, we're talking between the 2 centimetre and sub 1 centimetre horizontal level. So putting engineering quality data into the hands of the non-engineer. The second element is around using ArcGIS field applications to rapidly capture good quality data on site at the point of collection, and so limiting the need for any double handling or post-processing off-site. And that third element is quickly to create and generate reports to recognise standards or even refine standards which are defined by the client specification, but also to retain the spatial context to that data for quick and easy accessibility at a later stage. So that kind of breaks down the subject matter. And if we look now a little bit more at the solutions we're going to share with you today, there are two main solutions in drainage applications. The Drainage Database Management System Surveys, or DDMS, in highways formerly known as HADMS, is one solution we're going to investigate in a bit more detail, and also the STC25 manhole cover chamber surveys. And here today we launch MGISS's new solution to facilitate efficient ground collection of manhole chamber surveys and create those survey cards. But I think what you'll find quite interesting as well is the dashboard that sits along that and will be really useful into your projects. So moving on to the cycle that you also see on screen, the capture, manage and use, essentially 3 pillars of solutions that we apply at MGISS. And both of these cloud-hosted GIS solutions are based around this capture, manage, use cycle. So capturing using GNSS technology, providing precise position on site for data points and features collected. Managing using ArcGIS online. Data management made simplified through automation. And using the data collected to visualize in the real world and provide insight into design or as-built data at the surface or below ground. And this includes 3D augmented reality views. So capture, manage, use. The message here is that by applying good practice to any one of those aspects, we will improve the end-to-end workflow. And for example, by applying better data management will lead to more efficient data capture and ultimately lead to more meaningful use of the data in those downstream applications, be this in live reporting or be this in augmented reality views. But before we launch into those applications themselves, I just want to give a little bit of background to who MGISS are. And for those who are new to the company, it's got some of the detail on the slide. Really, it says the essential points is that we're an independent SME. I always describe as a small but beautifully formed, and a team loaded with knowledge and expertise, taking you through that journey of location to insight. And on the right of the screen, you can see the recognised partners, market leaders in there. Some of those partners will be mentioned as we go through the presentation. But MGISS are very much the experts in ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Online, geospatial technology integration, spatial data management, and automation. And as an independent company, we're able to advise on the adoption of best-of-breed technologies. We're able to provide the hardware and software to enable operations. And crucially, we're able to provide the support services which are wrapped around that to make sure that your teams always remain operational and effective and delivering that value to your business. Why MGISS, particularly in the drainage and highway domain? Well, we've got industry knowledge. We've got over 20 nearly years of experience in the sector, much of it brought by Darius as a subject matter expert around drainage. So we've got that deep industry knowledge. We know how vital the maintenance of our drainage on our highways is to us all, keeping standing water off the roads, and quite literally provide that link to saving lives. We also know how difficult it is for those working under traffic management conditions, often at night, often across winter months in poor weather. So it's a difficult environment to work in. So what we're trying to do with our tools is to make that journey through collecting data and managing data and using data easy in that difficult environment. And so at that stage, I'd just like to touch on some of the brands that we work with. Now, on the middle there, Crown, Carnell, Conway, MGJV, NRC, these are kind of well-recognised brands in the area of highway and construction. And so across the rest of that slide, you can see a number of other well-recognised brands and a lot of water utilities involved there. And indeed, on the right-hand side of the screen, a quote from one of those leading water utilities from Northumbrian Water. I won't read it out, but it's the kind of feedback we really appreciate from our customers. We will return to a couple of those examples. Crown Plus, in particular, leading brand working in the highways market sector, taking drain recycling and civil engineering schemes. We'll touch on a case study with Crown Plus and also with Carnell's, who provide that specialist maintenance and support services that helps ensure that safety and efficiency are enjoyed across the UK highways infrastructure. So both of these are sector leading companies. We've worked with them. We've deployed MGISS technology in the field and in the back office successfully, and we'll go through some of those recognised benefits. But that just provides an overview of some of our key clients. And on that point, I'm going to pass across to Darius to run through that capture, manage and use process in a bit more detail and showcase some of the applications we've just described and show you a bit of video footage. So Darius, thanks, over to you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Eamonn. That's really good intro to us and to the webinar in general. So yeah, so now we're going to focus on this first pillar, the capture pillar, and getting this right is really critical to achieving those insights and the fun stuff that you can do under the use pillar. So first of all, we're going to ask, how do we capture data with a focus on positional accuracy? And secondly, how is data capture applied to complicated data schemes such as highways drainage and STC25? How can we do that efficiently, quickly in the field, but capture the right data at the same time? Before we launch into that, we're just going to do a quick poll just to get a bit of detail on how you currently capture your asset data. So I'm going to launch this for around 30 seconds. Hopefully you'll see that question on screen now about how you currently capture your asset data. So hopefully we've got some answers coming in. So pen and paper is the first one, mobile phone, integrated GNSS. It's the second, plugging in high accuracy. It's the third answer. Maybe someone else does that surveying or data capture for you. That'll be the third party, or not currently required. It's the last option. We'll just give you a few more seconds to complete that poll.
Yeah, interesting results. Thank you. Yeah,
answers still coming in actually.
Yeah.
So we'll give you another
A few more seconds. Yeah.
10 seconds to complete that poll, and then we'll close that off.
Still a fair amount of paper there, isn't there, guys?
Yes, there is. Yeah, too much. All right. Thank you very much. And we're going to end the poll there. Thank you for your contribution. And actually, if we share the results, we can see that the mobile phone has actually outhed 43% of our participants have said that. All right, so stop sharing that. Thank you again. We'll get back into the demo. So let's move on. So we're going to play a video in a moment. So high accuracy data capture is required for drainage assets on the highway, for example. Keeping water off the major UK trunk roads is critical for our safety. If you've ever aquaplaned on a motorway, it's terrifying. And the National Highways data schema that specifies 15 mil or better positional accuracy for those assets to allow accurate flood modelling and network tracing to the outfall of each of those catchments. And the first video here highlights that with the right positioning systems and equipment, and there isn't much, how simple it can be to plug in high accuracy to your mobile phone or tablet. So let's get this video playing. So first of all, step one, hopefully you can see the video. Using a 2-meter survey pole for height accuracy, our field operative attaches the GNSS receiver. In this case, it's a Leica FLX Plus 100 Plus, supported on both Android and iPhone. Step two, a Bluetooth connection is established. And finally, step three, he's going to open the GNSS controller app called Xeno Connect to start the positioning service in order to achieve the required accuracy. And typically, initialization should happen within a minute, and should be streamed directly into your phone or tablet. Okay. So moving on to how DDMS for highways. So we make the process as simple as possible. And so to deliver this right first time National Highways industry compliant solution, it not only improves efficiency, but helps reduce unnecessary carbon emissions from repeat site visits, not to mention those unnecessary additional costs for TM, traffic management, if assets have been missed, for example. And with an automated capture process, we can demonstrate cost savings in addition to product improvements. Okay, so quick video around DDMS, which will demonstrate how this works for drainage points, starting with our field operative, again positioning the survey pole accurately on the cover of the drainage item. So the Field Maps app is open at the top of the screen. It confirms the accuracy is being reflected in the app. So hopefully keen eye will be able to see that at the top right of the screen there. Okay, so the survey item type is then selected, a gully in this instance, which captures the absolute 3D position of that item. A supplier reference is entered, and the item is submitted, which instantly saves the gully geometry in the cloud-hosted GIS. So next, following that submission, a DDMS compliant Survey 123 inspection form is launched, and the asset inventory detail is captured. And that form includes photo attachments, and the submission will be blocked before mandatory details are captured, so to making sure you are capturing the right data first time. And in this case, DDMS condition is compulsory. Again, once submitted, the asset is saved in the cloud instantly, available to both back office and other field teams. All right. Okay, so moving on to our second solution now, which drainage solution focuses on STC 25 compliant manhole surveys, which may be more widely known as a common standard for computerized sewer records. Bit of a mouthful. Our data capture solution provides the same live hosted and mobile app, and with the option to be fully hosted by MGISS actually. And in addition to the mobile data capture components, we have a live ops dashboard, which I'll cover in the use section. All right, so the next video demonstrates the ease of data capture for STC 25. It's a like-for-like version of the previous video, really. However, bear in mind, while improving asset positions is always recommended, GNSS plugin is optional for this survey type. So firstly, the data capture form is opened and the operative uses the map to capture the position of the gully. Here, the operative is only capturing gullies, so in this case, repeats is active, speeding up capture of the details such as dimensions, and you can focus on other details. So the survey app allows the location photos to be annotated. So I've measured out the carriageway here and I'm adding that to the location sketch. Obviously you can capture photos in the same way, and the advanced sketch functionality provides a quick draw capability for chamber schematics. So everything can be done quickly and efficiently, and reducing the chance of repetition or post-processing of this data. Now, it should also be known that this solution is fully capable offline as well. So as if you've got poor signal, that is supported. We've also added the capability for a manhole card to be instantly emailed from the field. If, for example, urgent follow-up is required, maybe you've got a blocked strategic gully or something like that, it needs to be cleansed. All right. So at this point, we're going to launch another poll. Hopefully you can see this question, which has come up on screen. So, are you required to survey to any of these standards? Question, and the options are DDMS, STC 25, PAS 128, and other. Again, I've mentioned add that in the chat, and we'll come back to any questions that we have at the end of the webinar. Try to answer those. So hopefully you can see that poll on your screen, and it'd be great to get your feedback on that. And we'll give you another 20-30 seconds to complete that. Oh.
Okay, starting to see a few more results coming through now. And yeah, actually, it looks like the vast majority of respondents are having to follow, they're working within projects where standards are required. The other, in terms of other standards, box is in fact empty at the moment. So everyone's working within either DDMS or STC 25, PAS 128. It's I can see that you're all from the industry, and
I'm guessing by the fact that only a few have responded, so I'm going to launch those results, that some don't use any of these standards currently or capture to any of those standards. So, well, thank you very much for participating there. We're going to stop sharing that and move on. Okay. So, moving on to the manage section of the webinar, which covers data conversion and data cleanse. Actually, data management can be considered as a boring part. However, preparing and QAing data is still essential to getting real value from the data. So how do we do less kind of manual management tasks and more data use? Well, typically streamlining and automation is the answer. So no videos here, but a couple of diagrams to explain how our system architecture works. Firstly, for DDMS, we've built a bespoke toolbox to round trip the data. So the starting point is DDMS database, and the ending point is that same database. So we need to make sure that we're pushing the enriched or inspected data back into the same format. So step one, we upload the data using our upload tool to the cloud-hosted GIS. Step two, our custom field forms and plugins enable centimetre accuracy field inspections. Note that our Z-Transform plugin for ArcGIS field maps enables those accurate 3D coordinates to be transformed to the British National Grid. Our download tool extracts the data and photo attachments back to a WinCam compatible shapefile for processing, or and then back into DDMS. Okay, so moving on to our other solution, the manhole surveys, including STC25. It's a fully hosted end-to-end SaaS solution powered by our cloud services platform. The platform has two key services. Firstly, the STC25 configured field form provides an intuitive and efficient data capture process, as you've seen, ensuring the right details are captured first time. Secondly, a live ops dashboard provides the capability to import inspection schemes, track scheme progress, create bulk instant digital manhole cards, and export data to other formats such as CSV, GeoJSON. This system is flexible, easy to use, and being hosted and supported by MGISS means that apart from a company mobile phone or tablet, actually you don't need any extra IT infrastructure to get up and running straight away with this one. By the way, if you already have your own ArcGIS field worker licenses, you can plug into this system at a lower cost. Okay, so for the final MGISS pillar, use, we will focus on some of the things you can do with good quality data that has been well collected and processed with a focus on our cloud-hosted drainage dashboard first. So in order to add real value to the quality data being captured, we need to be able to use our data in a meaningful way. And as an ops manager, for example, I need to be able to track scheme progress, how it's going, QA and edit data, and then export and report, ideally in a live web app. So the MGISS SaaS platform provides secure access to your data, allowing you to do all of these things with massive benefits in terms of productivity. So the following video demonstrates our manhole ops dashboard web app. So at the center, we have an interactive map, data table at the bottom, and an edit record toolbar on the left. On the right, hidden in a sidebar, we have options to filter. So we're first going to demonstrate the import process by updating the dashboard with a new manhole maintenance scheme. And that will just take a few seconds to render in the dashboard. And additionally to that, that manhole counter is dynamic in the top right-hand corner. And once the data renders on screen, that counter should increase as well. So just demonstrating the live nature of the data. We're first going to demonstrate we're going to then look at some pre-inspected manholes, and we're going to filter the records captured on the shift spanning the 14th to 15th of August, and further filter those by any defects to the benching in this case. So we can click on any of the points on the map, by the way, and get feedback on through a pop-up of what's been captured. And both of these gullies are of interest, so we're going to use the select tool now to grab them both, GU4 and GU5. And if I open the reporting tab on the left, we can generate a manhole card summary for these two gullies. Okay, and we should be able to see that has been generated and can be downloaded instantly. And in this case, we've got the manhole card created with all the attachments, the location sketches, the manhole schematics, the photos that we'd seen captured in the previous capture demonstration. And that's combined, so for those two manholes there, into one PDF. Finally, we're going to clear that selection filter, and just demonstrate the ability to link pipe CCTV records. In this example, we select the pipe first, and then click the CCTV record to launch WinCam Web, and we can see the pipe inspection on our screen here now. So that's the end of that demo. So you can see the range of capability of this dashboard, and crucially, all this data is live. So users are minimizing data handling, and everyone, whether fieldwork or office managers, is basically singing from the same hymn sheet. So it were. Okay. Brilliant. So moving on to our last demonstration, something a little more left field is the increasing use of augmented reality on site to assist with on-site awareness and pre-dig safety. And this following video showcases the IR app VGIS and demonstrates how combining high accuracy GNSS with highly accurate subsurface data sets can provide you with the ultimate in terms of on-site awareness. So our field operative has plugged in that same FLX this time to a tablet and supports phones as well. He opens the app and starts the calibration process to position himself through the camera relative to any data sets he has loaded in. And those data sets, in this case, a network of subsurface utilities, are draped in the view around him. So we can turn on and off those layers, but we've got water, gas, electric, giving him that kind of X-ray view of the data under his feet. So, and then you can get feedback from those assets wherever you point the target information, such as distance and depth, and what the utility type is all fed back through the app. All right. So finally, to finish up the demonstration section, we're going to launch a final poll. So just bear with me while I load that. Around use. So hopefully you can see this one now. So what are the challenges you have with data use is the question. So option A, shortage of GIS skills. B, budget constraints. C, poor quality data. And D, other. So you're welcome to add that into the chat. We'd be interested to know what those challenges are. So again, we'll give you another 30 seconds to have a go at this questionnaire and close that off. Our final poll.
Yeah, data quality. You know, it's a common theme, isn't it, that we get through. You know, a lot of the work, a lot of the client discussions we have. And indeed, you know, a lot of the theme of this is about quality of data. So, you know, the webinar is hopefully you'll pick up some of the tools to improve that. But polls coming through.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll close that off now.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Interesting.
Thanks for taking part in that. I've shared the results there up on screen. All quality data coming out top.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for listening to that part. I'm going to pass you back to Eamonn now for the final part of the webinar.
Okay, thanks, Darius. Get a bit of a chance to rest your voice. So back across to me. So I mentioned earlier on at some of the logos that we work with. I want to return to a couple of those logos now. And on this first slide, I want to discuss some collaboration that MGISS and Carnell's have been through. And just for a bit of background, Carnell's, as I mentioned before, specialist maintenance and support services that help ensure UK's highway infrastructure is operated safely and sufficiently. And Carnell's are looking to improve the efficiency of their operations including their highways drainage surveys for DDMS. And they'd experienced difficulty with their existing practice. In particular, their field to office workflow was largely a manual process. It's quite slow, often rendered incomplete information. The field operator and the supervisor would have to bring the device into the office. The data would be downloaded before analysis. Photographs and sketches were also independent, so needed to be linked to the data. And so, you know, unsurprisingly, perhaps files often went missing. So the solution which MGISS proposed through this collaboration was the EOS GNS receiver, the Arrow Gold, as an alternative to their existing hardware. The Arrow series is light, quite streamlined, it's easy to handle, so it made it a simpler operation for the field operators, particularly tricky and inaccessible locations. And as well as being more cost effective to achieve an accuracy of 1 centimetre. So MGISS also identified improvements to the field to office workflow, and moving the workflow to the cloud addressed many of the issues that were being faced that I've just described: the loss of data, the delays, and you know, that interaction between the field and the back office was significantly improved by introduced the cloud architecture. We also implemented ArcGIS software, including Survey 123. It was a great way to share and analyse and interpret between different locations. And a further component was MGIS's Z-Transform plugin for ArcGIS field maps. And we also deployed this to provide real-time centimetre accuracies at UK elevations, something which is crucial for drain modelling. You'll see on screen a really nice quote from Dave Nicosia. So he certainly supported the work that we did. So the EOS replaced their existing kit, field maps and Z-Transform added the efficiency, and this really started Carnell's digital transformation of their back office workflows, and it's something which continues today. So if I then move on to the further case study, Crown Plus on screen now. Again, those who are unfamiliar with Crown Plus as a business, Crown Recycling was set up in 2015, and they worked on highways, undertaking filter drain recycling and civil engineering schemes, essentially extracting some of the drainage material and hardcore, which is used in drainage applications, recycling on site. So reapplying where the material remained usable and up to standard, and removing from the site for separate recycling for materials which was non-compliant. The directors, Gary Price and Paul Connor, they wanted to extend their business, wanted to include surveying and technical services to their capabilities, and they wanted to undertake highways agency drainage data management survey, so HADM surveys, and this is a principal driver for them. So in terms of the solution, MGISS proposed a GNSS receiver as an alternative to their existing hardware operation, and Crown are now applying the current generation of Leica GG04 to their operations. And we also worked on an Esri-based mobile application, working alongside the DDMS solution. So again, a similar kind of solution. Gary Price again provides a great supporting comment on screen there. But the outcome for Crown Plus was they added a new business stream and created a new revenue stream for their business. They increased the company capabilities and therefore the workforce. They were able to secure a new tranche of work, working with Highways England, as it was at the time, on their managed motorway schemes. And so really Crown had upskilled their operations and their operational teams to the level where they were able to compete for work that they hadn't done so before. They had a very small team of surveyors, just a couple of surveyors, who were the focus for all their survey work. But now that has moved more to a multi-skilled team and a well-rounded team, which offers both the individuals increased job security and maybe I'd argue greater satisfaction with having these tools at hand at work, but also increase the capability of Crown Plus as a company. I hope those two case studies made had some impact with you, and we'd love to build on case studies with other clients and have more to showcase with you. But up on screen now is is that big question about, well, okay, so how much does all that cost? It's always the biggest question. So pricing is always going to be dependent on exactly what the need is, exactly what the hardware and software configuration required. So very much pricing is always going to be related to solving the specific problem which you face on site and in your back office, and coming up with that confirmed pricing there. However, I'll give you some indicative pricing because you need to understand what the kind of budget requirement is around our solutions. So if I take first the STC 25 manhole chamber inspection, the annual subscription starts at 1,250 for the application that you've seen. For non-ArcGIS Online users, there's a slight increase on that. It takes that to 1,650 as an annual subscription, and that essentially addresses the underlying licensing which is required by Esri for the application. If we then look at the MGISS DDMS system, so this incorporates Z Transform as a package, again an annual subscription from 3,800. Underlying ArcGIS license is again required. We would always wrap that kind of offering up with, we'd always recommend some consultancy to go alongside that to make sure that the application is working within your teams and your workflows are well defined, and indeed your operators are trained and prepared to apply the solution. If we look at the GNSS hardware, the weekly hire rate starts at £191. To achieve that highest accuracy RTK enabled correction, then the weekly hire cost moves up to 273. As I say, all these are indicative pricing, and the key point is that we will obviously offer any discounting, additional discounting to all attendees on this webinar today if we're able to have that conversation with you as a follow-up.
Worth pointing out, the manhole inspection solution also includes the dashboard that was demonstrated before as well, the live dashboard.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for that. So I just want to run through a recap. We're kind of coming towards the end of the webinar, presentation side of the webinar. Just want to run through a short resume where we've been. So we considered what is meant by high levels of position accuracy, putting engineering data into the hands of the non-engineer. We considered how ArcGIS applications can be used and able to manage good quality data on site at the point of collection. We looked at how we could quickly generate reports to recognise standard and indeed use dashboards. We focused on two drainage solutions that MGISS have described today, the DDMS solution for highways and the STC 25, the manhole chamber surveys. And this product is now launched. You're the first to see this, so congratulations on that. We hope that caught your interest. We also considered how those tools and solutions fit within this cycle of capturing, managing and use. So through the videos, Darius demonstrated the use of GNSS technology, uncomplicated, quick, putting those tools in the hand of your field operators, how to manage data by controlling data feeds through ArcGIS Online, through field maps and Survey 123, and also how we might use that data through the dashboards, and also how we saw that insight, which that visualization through a 3D augmented reality view can bring to life the buried services. We also saw those great real-world applications with MGISS customers at Carnell's and Crown Plus. So I hope that they played well with the people on the webinar. We went through a couple of polls. And now we've gone to that section where we've invite questions from anyone. And indeed, we have got a couple of questions that have been raised already. So, some Salvac, yeah, when giving the permission to the field teams to update data in ArcGIS, is it safe for the quality data? Sorry, data quality, and is it field maps only that is used, or survey 1, 2, 3 as well to do the survey form? Okay.
So, great question. Thank you for that. Two questions there. So first of all, is it safe? The answer is you can make it safe, and ArcGIS Online provides the tools to do that. So, for example, you can completely control whether the field user can do certain editing tasks. So, for example, you may not want them to be able to delete. You may only want them to update the attributes and not move the points. Maybe if it's a round trip scheme, so you can do that. You can turn on and off different fields for editing. So you may have some fields which are just view only. You can display them only, and they'll be locked for editing. So it's completely up to yourself how you control that. Next question is the Z value saved. Oh, sorry, there was one about field maps and survey 1, 2, 3. Yes, in the example we showed DDMS using both field maps and survey 1, 2, 3. So we integrate the two apps for that solution because there's some functionality needed in both. So specifically, the positional accuracy is achieved in field maps, but there's some extra capability in survey 1, 2, 3, specifically around sketching, that is not available in field maps. So we use both to cover that requirement. So is the Z value saved within the data? We saw in the video. It should be turned on from the data editing side. So yes, it is saved automatically actually. So that as soon as you the data set's configured in such a way that as soon as you press record in field maps, that metadata is captured around the lat long and altitude, and that, and we use that to produce your Z value in BNG.
Thanks for the question,
Yeah,
Salva.
another good question about tree canopy cover on the roadside. So yeah, this is a common issue, especially certain times of year. You get more coverage of tree canopies, and there are more occasions when that line of sight to the sky is blocked, and obviously GNSS is affected. Certain receivers perform better under tree canopy than others, so we find that the EOS Arrow Gold especially good in those situations and can mitigate for that kind of scenario. In the event that you completely blocked the GNSS position, you've got a couple of options there. You can digitize the points on the map relative to another item closer to the road, or you can use the total stations at that stage. Obviously, adding a bit more cost and time into the process, but that's the worst case scenario. You get out a total station if you have that capability.
And quite often, what we've this is Anna who's raised this question. What we've often done, Anna, is we've worked with the clients and suggested a working practice which can minimise the effect of tree canopies, and go and test it, go and try it. You know, it's we've worked with a number of clients where actually rather than having to adopt any kind of offsetting technology, they found that they were able to retain sufficient accuracy and still get a decent signal under the tree cover.
Yeah. And someone else has pointed out that the one of the questions about how you collect your asset data wasn't multi-choice. So thanks for that feedback, and we'll fix that for next time.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. Then didn't realise that.
So we've got
a few minutes left.
Take a couple more questions.
So
first of all, does STC 25
yeah.
manhole inspections work with WinCam?
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to take that. Well, those who are already working with WinCam will be aware that there is an STC 25 option. There's a module within there, and the feedback that we receive is that it's not really fit for purpose, and not that efficient a tool, especially for groundwork. And that was part of our reasoning for investigating this solution as an option. And indeed, the feedback we're getting is that what we've defined in our solution integrates well with WinCam, but actually replaces the tool which is available in the WinCam package at the moment. Hope that answers the question. Bit biased, I'll be honest, but there we are. I'm sure I'll leave that independent view to those who are WinCam users of that and have tried that application. And if you've got an experience you want to share, we'd welcome that. So another question we have: do I need ArcGIS license for STC 25 manhole inspections?
Okay.
Darius, do you want to describe that?
Yeah, so the solution is fully hosted by ourselves. So actually, you don't need a license, and pointed out on a previous slide that we can serve that up in two ways. If you already have those field worker licenses, we can offer the solution at a lower cost. But if not, it's fully hosted, and you don't need ArcGIS at all. No.
Okay. There's a question we mentioned Z transform a couple of times. We probably need to follow up with a link to provide a bit more detail over that. But perhaps Darius, you could give a really short product description.
Yeah, to keep it simple, it is a plugin for ArcGIS that field maps that allows the British National Grid vertical transformation to be applied. So you've got X, Y, and Z in the UK standards essentially. So it's a kind of plugging a little gap in the field maps app.
Okay, thank you. That's Z transform in a nutshell. Another question we've got around is about GNSS receivers, asking about which receivers can achieve the accuracy standard required for CS551. So that 1 or 2 centimeter accuracy. In fact, I think the standard mentions 15 millimeter accuracy in the presentation. So
yeah,
we've got a couple of options there. Darius, do you want to describe them?
Yeah, so independent on this, but example of a couple would be the EOS Arrow Gold, the Leica GGO4, and actually there's a new EOS device due to come out soon as well. We'll follow up with another webinar on this, but the SCADI device, which will be released in the next month, will also support that kind of accuracy.
Yeah, more details to come. Each of them require an RTK correcting service. I think it's important to say.
Yes, of course.
You know, I am always a bit mindful of perhaps some supply. We can all go online and do a search for a particular receiver and get the nice box delivered, and then you open the box and say, well, how the hell do we use this? Oh, I need an RTK connection device to get that kind of accuracy. So this is something we would always help you on that journey through, and you know, our professional services team at MGISS will go through the me as an independent advisor, which is the best GNSS receiver to meet your requirement and meet your budget, but also crucially enables your teams to become operational as quickly as possible through some decent quality onboarding. So that's it. I think we've got a simple one here. We've just got the last couple of minutes. We'll maybe wrap up the questions in a moment. Can I use my own phone to connect to GNSS and run the mobile GIS application? So as opposed to using, I suppose, specific controls.
You can, both iOS and Android are supported. Quick answer for that one. Actually, Windows for the STC 25 manhole survey solution, Windows is also supported for that too.
Yeah,
if you use a tablet, Windows tablet.
Yeah, I think we've either bored you to death or something. The questions have kind of dried up now, and so we're a couple of minutes early. But what I'd suggest is probably we wrap up at that stage. give you a couple of minutes of your time back, maybe a chance to put the kettle on before you jump back into your next call. So really, as a wrap up, I just wanted to thank everyone. I want to thank Darius for sharing his expertise with us. I want to thank our partners and clients who we've referenced on this video. In particular, I just wanted to mention Leica Geosystems for use of their training facilities. Some of the video footage you saw captured there was taken at their training facility. And indeed, as a side note, we are at MGISS, we are running an invitation open day at this Leica site on the 26th of September, where we'll showcase some of the applications you've seen now, and we'll showcase something in a bit more detail. You get your opportunity to get your hands on a bit of kit. So what I would say is, please contact through if you're interested in attending that day, and we will pick that. I will pick that up with you separately and make sure that we have that invitation. I wanted to thank all for your attendance and for the questions posed. We'll pick up any questions that come through as a result as soon as we can. Thank you for all attending, for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and best wishes for a successful remainder of the day. And if you are able to find that extra few minutes to message MGISS separately, that would be absolutely fantastic. Inevitably, with these kind of webinar events, we'll send the follow-up email, so we'll provide that opportunity for you to message us back. So thank you very much for your time, and yeah, have a good day.